dealing with the density, dealing with the emotions and the traumas, the energies that we tend to hide, suppress, mask, various things we do. Fragmentation is what the shamans called it. Psychotherapists talk about this. Carl Jung used to talk a lot about shadow work. So we're going to really get into this, and you're going to experience it firsthand. And it's going to be step by step. We're going to build upon it. If you've never even done it before and you've been guided as the synergy of the room builds up, and we start with a warm-up. If you're here, it's for a reason. So we're going to work with beginners all the way to more advanced practitioners. And it's really, let's say, 3 lenses that I'm going to bring forth for you today. 3 forms of practices. And these 3 lenses, one of them is, like I said, psychological, psychotherapy, psychosynthesis, different schools of thought. Carl Jung is a big, let's say, thought leader, way shower in that realm. And it's around, we have various energies within our subconscious, giving it a voice, facing the fears. We're going to do that kind of work. It's going to be where we're going to really get into more of the traditional side of shadow work. Then a second lens, let's call it the indigenous, the ancient wisdom teachings. You could call it shamanic. I practice a form of neo-shamanism or modern-day shamanism. And the shamans used to talk about it in terms of fragmentation, soul loss, denaturing our biofield. And then the third lens, which kind of does go dovetail with the shamanic or indigenous lens or the ancient wisdom teachings, is an energetic lens. Now, as we're understanding vibrational medicine, energy sciences, what I really bring forth, the spiritual sciences, we're starting to understand that there are tears, there are distortions, there are warps, let's call it, deviations of our natural energy field. We could call that related to shadow work as well. And that's where it starts to intersect with, let's say, clearing out things that shouldn't be there. You with me so far? So it's going to be a very potent, multidimensional experience. I haven't done this in about a year and a half. I realized, oh, wow, this is a cornerstone to the framework, the curriculum I'm birthing through. And it's very pivotal. It's very vital. It is that foundational cornerstone of inner work. You can't really run away from doing deep shadow work if you especially hope to step into leadership. If you're a leader, if you're a way shower, if you're a practitioner yourself, and this is oftentimes the reason people find me, because they may have dabbled in shadow work, they may be teaching shadow work. What I'm about to bring forth today in these building upon it, we're going to kind of go step by step, and we're going to get into some very multidimensional waters by the end of today. And it shouldn't really be called shadow work. Really, the way I'm bringing it forth for you all to experience what I do with clients firsthand is really multidimensional shadow alchemy. It's really a mouthful. So I went with what the collective interpretation of it is. Yeah. One of my quotes that I have handy for us today, Henry Miller, an author, said, this is going to be a good way to really warm up the synergy of the room and welcome everybody. Everything we shut our eyes to, everything we run away from, everything we deny, everything we denigrate, despise, only serves to defeat us in the end. What seems nasty, painful, and even evil can be a source of beauty, joy, and strength if faced with an open mind. And I'm going to add here, Henry Miller didn't say this, an open heart as well. Every moment is a golden one for the person who has the vision to recognize it. So we're going to show you how we can take the ugly, the traumas, the shadows, things that we denigrate, despise, relegate, put into the basement. Yeah. Shamans called it the underworld. Psychologists call it the subconscious. I call it the basement. There's a lot happening under there. And we don't pay attention to it, or we think, we mentalize, and we don't really do the work in an embodied way. So these things tend to still run our lives. Our breakthroughs don't stick. We relapse. We have all sorts of ways that we go 1 step forward, 5 steps back. Yeah? Everything we shut our eyes to. So today we're going to open most our eyes here, as well as our inner eye, as well as the eye of our inner heart. It's a lot of compassion, a lot of strength, and spiritual resilience related to what we are going to do today. All right, so let me do my best in Latin. The alchemist, these kooky mystic types and occultist and secret society types throughout the ages, they refer to it as follows. So here's the Latin for it, and I'll translate, so bear with me. Visita, interior, go to the interior of the earth, terra, rectificando invenis occultum lapidem. So if you don't speak Latin like me, this means the following. Ancient mystics, ancient alchemists used to say the following: seek out the lower reaches, all the deep stuff of the earth. And in this instance, the allegory of earth is our vessel, the body. Learn to perfect them. Take the dross impure, perfect it, and you will find the hidden stone. Some of you have heard this. There's this thing that alchemists were allegedly pursuing, lead to gold. Not quite. What they're really doing, it was a metaphor for the inner work and the advanced transformative healing possible if we learn to take literally the dross energies. And we're going to learn this today. Shadow work is about freeing up energy, taking energy that's stuck, blocked, hacked, interfered with, using it for our growth, transformation, and certainly to accelerate forward on what you need to do here this lifetime. Now, the psychologists, especially the Jungians, Carl Jung's peeps, they said that you must engage in a relationship with the wounded. They called it the wounded and sickly parts of us. Then we must refine them, and then we will awaken to our true identity or our true essence. Yeah? As one of you said in the chat right now, digging deep within is very deep work. This work is not easy, and it's certainly some of it you really can't do without a guide. Yeah, that's another reason why I'm doing this today. So the deeper we go today, we're going to do the warm-up in a minute or so. The deeper we go today after the warm-up and I introduce these topics, it's like going into a monastery or going into a mystery school. This is really what I'm bringing forth for you all. You're going to go into the inner sanctum, as we call it. You're going to get deeper and deeper, and we're going to get deeper and deeper and more advanced with the work we're going to present and do today. So we're going to cover the more traditional and work our way towards the more multidimensional. How's that sound, folks? Warming you up. So a little bit deeper and deeper through these various energies that we often fragment, that we suppress, that we reject. And we're going to start with a warm-up because we got to get cozy. A lot of people can't feel it, and they can't feel it, then they can't heal it, or they think they're feeling it, and then they wonder why they're not fully feeling the healing of it. So we're going to take it up a notch today. I'm going to light my handy dandy candle. I got a new one for you all today. It's a real fanciful rose candle because we're going to start with an energy primer, a warm up to open our heart, open up to the inner light within. We're going to need our hearts opened and attuned for today. We need them open and attuned in general, today especially. Breathe that in. Yummy, 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 rose. Another metaphor, which is very true. You gotta pull the weeds to plant the garden. All right? Way down. Amy, thanks for being here. Way down. Don't worry. By the end of today, I'm gonna show you how to put up some of these weights. Ladies and gentlemen, you're in the right place at the right time. Shall we warm up? Let's just stretch our inner landscape. So you're in the gym. You stretch at the gym, and you don't stretch when you do inner exercises, do you? Some of you may know this already. Yoga is actually preparing you to do the inner work. Yoga is to prepare the physical body for the other 7 branches of the yogis we're teaching. All right, so let's churn off and churn on. Churn off the engagement and churn on within. Follow my lead as we begin with a few exaggerated exhales and maybe wiggling or shaking out the body a bit kinetically. Bringing the hands, if they're not already, to the chest. One hand on the heart, one hand on the stomach. Tuning in, opening to your body, opening to your heart and torso, opening to your mind and energy within and around you. You If you're not already, one hand on heart, one hand on stomach, breathing through your nostrils, inhale and exhale through the nostrils, allowing your breath to come from the diaphragm as you inhale, filling the belly, exhale, contracting that diaphragm towards the spine, allowing each breath to center you and anchor you deeper and deeper, opening to what is in the mind, in the heart, in the body, and in the energy bodies. With every breath, centering and anchoring more and more, dropping into the body, feeling the chest where your hands are, one hand on heart, one hand on stomach. Inhale and exhale, opening, centering, and arriving more and more. Dropping out of the mind and into the body with every inhale. Rub the chest a little bit. Feel into the vessel, the home, the guest house, as Rumi called it. This is me. This is me. It's okay to be here. Many of us are disassociated and numb and don't even realize it. Humanity is in a very low frequency right now, and that's okay. We'll raise our vibe, and we begin by saying, this is me, giving ourselves permission to be here now. This is me. Rub your chest. Rub both hands on the stomach and heart. This is me. It's okay to be here now fully, to be in the body. It's safe to be here now. Many of us, believe it or not, it sounds strange. First few times I was taught this by a very advanced trauma healer, cried, literally only doing this, started to release so much trauma because, believe it or not, even if you don't have heinous traumas, I wasn't a victim of war or rape or, God forbid, really heinous, what we call big T trauma. Still, this is me. Many of us don't have permission to be here. It's safe to be here. Rub that chest. Really give yourself permission. It's okay to fully feel everything that's here now. It's okay to fully feel everything that's here now. Do your best. This is me. I am safe. It's okay to be here now and feel fully. Gathering with every breath, every inhale. More and more coming back to yourself. Gathering all parts of you back to you here now. Letting the hands rest. As you inhale, I want you to create a pump with your breath between your hands. As you inhale, feel the energy and the breath going in through the abdomen, the hand on your abdomen. And as you inhale, draw the energy up to the other hand on your heart. Exhale, and then let that energy drop back down to the stomach. As if you're playing ping pong with your breath using your hands. You're gonna inhale, draw the breath in through the abdomen, hand on the stomach, draw it up, creating a pump or an orbit, a cycle with our breath. Exhale, now down from the heart, down to the stomach. Inhaling, up, exhaling, allowing the energy to drop back down. Allowing our natural circadian rhythm, natural harmony and inner homeostasis to come online, using the breath to regulate. Inhale, up to the heart, exhale, feel that energy drain down. Feeling the energy as it comes up, feeling the energy as it drains back down, noticing how this orbit, this breath cycle is making you feel, being with whatever is arising. Inhale up, exhale, allow it to drop down. And on the next inhale and exhale, I want you to stop at the heart. Really drop in deeper into your heart, feeling your physical heart, bringing all your inner awareness and focus and embodied presence into your heart, feeling the front, the back, the inside of the physical heart, all the dimensions of the physical heart in your chest, as well as the energetic heart space. With every inhale and exhale, I want you to focus as if you're breathing in and out through your heart center, both your physical chest as well as the big gate, the middle of your chest, the energy of the heart center. So as you inhale, filling up and seeing this energy center glowing and growing, opening your heart with every inhale. As you exhale, allowing your heart to open even more. It'll help you with a visualization. Maybe you can see your heart blossoming with every inhale, like a lotus blossoming. Maybe like the windows of your heart are opening more and more. Or simply that energy center glowing and growing more and more, open and expansive. Every inhale, I open my heart. Both my physical heart as well as my energetic heart space. Releasing any physical tension in the front and the back, around the heart. Releasing any energetic or emotional tension, any old emotions that may be flooding up. I open my heart with every inhale. And now on the next inhale, you're going to imagine your heart like a tuning fork, like one of these magical tuning forks that you see sound healers use. You're going to see your heart as if it's a tuning fork. And now what we're going to do is we're going to beam up. You're going to visualize your heart receiving and attuning with every inhale, as if it's beaming up to the divine heart. The universal heart is what some call it. The greater, more expansive heart. Every inhale and exhale. If you've never done this before, it's okay to follow my instructions. You're going to inhale and exhale. Visualize your heart as a tuning fork. And you're going to say, I open and attune my heart to the divine heart above. This greater source of more expansive emotional understanding, more expansive emotional presence. Visualize with every inhale your heart opening and expanding and attuning this tuning fork like a satellite, beaming up and it receiving these divine heart energies back. With every inhale and exhale, more and more opening and attuning your heart to these divine energies. See your heart opening and being more and more ready, more and more strong, more and more resilient and capable to hold the space that we're going to need to hold today. Now feeling in to your inner light. Some say the heart is the gateway to heaven. Some say they literally see light coming out of the heart. Other energy centers too. So for now, feel that inner heart, that inner light, your inner flame. Hopefully you feel more that you fanned and fueled these flames of your heart more by doing this. Every inhale and exhale, allowing yourself to come back to the room. Come back to the here and now. The basement, where we gotta go to dig up, excavate the things that have been suppressed, hidden, fragmented, masked, in a lot of instances, disassociated from or desensitized to. The unconscious, okay, in which these beasts and monsters that we claim swarm, Robert Graves says, is not the living hell of the psychotic. It is actually a reservoir of energy to be brought under our control, like chaos was brought under cosmic order under the influence of the Great Spirit. So today, you're going to learn how to take trapped energy. That's what shadow work at a base level is all about. Whether you do it through psychosynthesis, in the psychological lens, the shamanic lens, the energetic lens, any other lenses that are out there, the trauma healing body, somatic lens, you're going to come back to, you're going to feel whole, you're going to feel energy come online, and you're suddenly going to feel more alive. Well, that's because the trapped energy is now freed up to be used. The energies that were once suppressed, repressed, warped, masked, taking all the energy to hold it all together, suddenly gets freed up suddenly gets freed up, and we can use it, direct it for such things as transformative growth. And even better, for some of you, you're going to bring your gifts and genius online, various woundings and soul traumas around that we're going to get into later today, that we're going to activate and heal some of. My gift to you all, you're welcome. In order for you to step into the light worker, the leader, the new earth creator you are here to be. So with Robert Graves, we've teed up that this is about untrapping this energy. For you see, the shadow is really all these energies that they call the shadow. It's all these energies that are hidden, hence the shadow. They're not in the light of our awareness. So when we start to take our inner awareness, hence its shadow work is inner work, we go within, we start to take the light of awareness, our gift of presence, intention, attention, and focus, different components of our presence, inwards. We direct it inwards. We bring light to these parts of us that the psychologists called the disowned parts of ourself, the ways that our subconscious is shut down. And so here's the problem with this, the problem and how it impacts us, how this work, it changes us. If we don't do it, what happens and what it shows up as, we'll go there first. If we don't give a voice to these things that the psychologists talk about as the subconscious parts or the fragmented parts of us, if we don't allow these things to be unveiled, what does it show up as? Well, here's how it affects us. We have toxic relationships because we're constantly blaming the other. We're vilifying in our family dynamics and bitterness and upset. There are a lot of integrity gaps in our leadership. You're not going to be aligned with the work you're here to do. You're not going to fully be able to do your mission. You're going to be stuck in emotional games. The victim rescuer triangle is one of them. You're definitely not going to be able to really develop self-awareness and mastery at the higher levels that would be required of you to step into these ascended forms of leadership. So you won't have the understanding of your deep fears, your deep reactions, and your deep triggers. And that's the problem. Or in modern psychology, modern trauma medicine, they're starting to understand adverse childhood experiences. We started to have inner child components of the shadow work. We start to have repeated patterns show up. Substance abuse is tied to shadow work. We definitely have trust issues. We become paranoid because we're closed off. Our heart is blocked. And we develop melancholy, brooding. Somebody called it soul fatigue. These are all symptoms, byproducts of having not done shadow work, of the energy being trapped. For we were created to be alive. We were created in the divine's image. So what the freak is going on? Why is there so much misery, suffering, shame, toxicity? Now, yes, the human experience is the title and the description for the event that said the human experience has that. Rumi, from my culture, does a great job in the guest house poem. Every day, a new guest arrives, sometimes up, sometimes down. We have the wave of quantum physics. We have ebbs and flows. Eventually, if you do enough of the shadow work, you feel whole, you feel alive. You can hold these higher vibrations. You can hold the codex of your mission. And even more importantly, you no longer blame, you reclaim your power. You no longer blame, you're no longer traumatized to be reactive and go into all these polarizing games that are being played around us. Yeah? Let me know if you can resonate with any of this. If you're new to shadow work especially, let me know how this is landing for you, how you're feeling about this. Feelings, nothing more than feelings. So what's going on in the underworld, in the subconscious, in the basement, is these trapped energies, these forgotten parts of ourselves, these suppressed parts of ourselves, these wounded parts of ourselves, all of these things, these blocked, trapped, masked energies, they're sitting down there waiting for you. Like, what's going on? When will my conscious awareness, the middle world, as the shamans called it, when will they bring my awareness to me? Like a bunch of guests, as Rumi called it. They're sitting there, and most of us are like, get the fuck out of here. I don't want you here. Sorrow, get out. Shame, get out. Grief, get out. Angst and rage, get out. That's not how you do it. Because so far, I mean, how much of you have you been kicking and screaming? I used to do it this old way, kicking and screaming, polarizing, resisting, and then persisting, and then persisting, and then persisting. And the pattern keeps looping and looping, and we're on the merry-go-round, and on the merry-go-round, on the merry-go-round. So these energies will start to run amok. Somebody is driving the ship, folks. You know, I work with a lot of you, and whether you do one-on-one work or not, you get the benefit of it here. That's an offering I give to you all here, my way of paying it forward to this collective. And a lot of the times I go to, did you notice you use these words, just, but, however, yet? Because we're hiding. And then we're like, I'm in control. And then there's all these ways that those words are only one example, one flavor of the way we think we're in control. And then you get triggered. Then you get reactive. Or as my Jewish brothers and sisters say, you really want to know a person? Give them money, make them tired, or give them intoxicants. Then you'll see the real shit come out. Then you'll see the greed, the power, the corruption. How do we know we've done shadow work? Well, you feel more whole again. You feel more alive. You feel more complete. You don't get bothered by all the news and propaganda, even if you're Middle Eastern. And you should be riled up because they're bombing people and da-da-da-da-da. And you go, hey, how have I been that abuser before? How have I been the tyrant before? Very advanced forms of shadow work we're going to get into today. Hence why the title is not called shadow work, it's advanced shadow work. So buckle up, folks. Buckle up, buckle up. If you've never been to Haas's lives before, woo, se spassamita ball. I intend to bring forth the tools, skills you need to do this. We're going to actually do it together. You're going to get firsthand experience, as I've been saying, and even more so, to inspire you to do it moving forward, show you where to go at the end of today with some tools and resources. We're going to do a big chunk of it today to empower and encourage you to understand how to use these energies, how to maneuver your inner landscape in a way where you can truly rise up. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my mission here, to support those leaders that are rising up in a very embodied way. And you can't do it if you got shit in your basement, if you're fragmented, if your gifts are churned off and you're going to class after class after class and you're not using your gifts for the collective. What are you waiting for? That could be shadow work related. For a lot of the people that come to me, it is. So how do we take this energy? How do we take this energy? How do we make use of this energy? So I'm going to take you down in a few minutes. I'm going to take you down gently, deeply into your subconscious, into these lower levels of awareness. We're going to go to where these true blocks and shadow levels lie, what we call trauma. A big part of this is trauma-informed work. And I'm going to show you how to hold space. We're going to do it together. I'm going to guide you as I already did with the warm-up. I'm going to guide you deeper and deeper into holding space for what needs to be seen, what needs to be brought up to the light of awareness. And suddenly you start to go, wait a second, a lot of things are clearing out. A lot of things that were holding me back are now being freed up. I'm feeling more whole, more online. Yeah? That's my promise to you. If you do the work that we're going to do in the next couple of hours together, that's what's up, as we say in colloquialism. Yeah? So before we do these, this next practice, which is really the first practice for the day, first form of shadow work, where we're going to bring up some shit. Don't worry, it's not going to be your feces. A little gross metaphor. What we're going to bring up is the stuff we prefer not to look at, even more than our poop. Literally the stuff that is so, I can't look at this, Haas. Don't make me look at this, Haas. Or like me, I used to have a mask. Everything's great. It's all good. Emotional bypass. How you feeling? Good. Okay, fine. Woo-hoo! It's a freaking nightmare. And then I sat next to a body worker. Some of you heard this. It's on my YouTube channel, part of the show that I have, part of my mission. And you know, here I am. They're like, you're not okay. You know, one lady, very famous, worked with Beyonce, works through my brother's office's body work, craniosacral, TMJ, all sorts of fancy degrees in how to heal body trauma. And she was like, you're not okay. Your body, your pain body, your human body has a body intelligence. If you didn't know, now you know. Was communicating to her. She would be what you would call a medical medium. And it was like, hey, he's not okay. He's in excruciating pain. And some of you have heard various anecdotes along the way. When I lead you, when I guide you, I don't show you or take you anywhere I have not gone. It's harrowing work. So there are patterns that we see in the collective. There are patterns to shadow work and these heavy emotions that we oftentimes experience. Would you like to learn a shortcut for how to spot some of the patterns? And it's really simple once you start to unpack it. And I've heard literally all sorts of medicine. A guy who's a doctor, David Markowitz, if I'm saying his name right. He came to these common core human wounds that drive us, which is akin to shadow work. So there's various schools of thought, and I started to grapple with this when I started to teach shadow work more and more, and I started to say, wow, by Jove, there's some patterns here. Ready for some of the patterns? Some of the ways that these reactions are going on in our basement, in our subconscious, in the underworld. So let's go through some of the oftentimes icky things that we are feeling as a human that we don't want to feel, and we would consider not knowing where it comes from. Most of us would be like, okay, number one, attachment. When I feel attachment, I'm going to attach to a lover. I'm going to be codependent. I need to hear from you all day, every day. Well, okay, so that's one form of this pattern. What's the attachment? What's driving the attachment? Let's go deeper. Let's go to the basement. Let's knock on the basement's door and go, okay, this is the surface of the iceberg. There's something deeper going on here with attachment. Well, it's an anxiety problem. I'm nervous that I'm going to lose again. There's a problem with something that's unresolved. So you're going to start to see this, a little bit of spoiler alert. I've lost before. Let's look at the math, folks. I'm attaching because I'm anxious. Why am I anxious? Let's go a little bit deeper to the basement. It implies there's been a loss before, and there's a nervousness and anxiety and uneasiness. I need you to make me feel safe here, because I don't feel safe, because that may happen again. Number two, blame. It's the dang Persians' fault. If they hadn't done the nuclear stuff, okay, well, blame. What's blame? Underlying blame is fear. There's a fear, and then underlying the fear, I have to defend against this happening again. So again, we see some unresolved energy sitting down in the basement that hasn't been, and then another energy above it, the fear, which really is driving the blame. Let's go one more. Aggressiveness. Oh, I had this. Very aggressive behavior patterns as a leader, especially as a former high-level woo-woo lawyer, responsible for helping business partners that had built multi-million-dollar businesses that were about to lose it all in litigation. I definitely would know a lot about aggressiveness when things weren't going my way. So aggression, stress, something is happening that's not going the way I want it to go. And then let's go to the root. I have to hold it all together so it doesn't fall apart. Let me know as I'm going through these four main patterns that I see around the collective, how this is landing for you, because this is the beginning of the first real module of bringing up one of the heavy things we don't want to feel and seeing what the root of it is, and then supporting it in freeing up that trapped energy. So aggression is because I'm stressed. I need to hold it all together so it doesn't fall apart. If I don't drive this, I'm stressed, so it'll happen, because it'll happen again. So I still haven't dealt with the core. I'm going to deal with the core. Number four, I'm problem focused. You can have some of these blend together. I could be an aggressive problem solver. Like, let me get involved and let me take the lead and pull the reins back and micromanage. And why? Problem focused, because I'm worried. Well, what's the worry, Haas? Because it's not going to go again. It's going to fall apart again. I'm going to fail again. It's not going to happen the way it needs to again. You start to see an underlying residual wound, an underlying unresolved trauma, an underlying energy tether, a root tether. Michael Singer does a great job in the book, Untethered Soul. There's all these tethers. We have all these things that are blocked and rooted. So today, let's start to get into untethering ourselves, starting to give these energies a space, a voice, compassionately bringing them forward and seeing why they're there and what they have to show us. And by Jove, what will it take for them to be transformed and alchemized? So as I said, we're going to process this shit gracefully. I'm going to show you, we already began by opening our heart. We're going to do some more of that. We're going to drop in. We're going to surface this stuff gracefully, and then we're going to begin to process and shift it, and then you're going to be able to bring in these higher vibrational energies. Okay, now this is very basic. This is not meant to be a one-size-fits-all. What we're going to get into today, it's not, as I'm going to say at the end of today, it's going to do a lot of healing we're going to do together today. It's not going to be a fix that's going to cure you of what's been ailing you. It's going to take a big chunk, like what I call excavating, a big chunk of this. So shadow alchemy, the underpinning of everything we're going to do today, all right, is you have to find it within. You have to actually, as they say, feel it within. Feel it to heal it. Some of you have heard that. Well, you got to start by finding it within. And the within isn't in here. The within is specifically, when I say within, capital I, as in it's inside the body, most likely in your torso. Most of it is going to be housed from the neck down. And then you can start to see, as we'll unpack today in these exercises we're going to do in a few minutes, you actually will start to feel tension and constriction in a lot of the places that it's stored. So usually the shadow energy, what you've suppressed, what you've masked, what you've traumatized and spliced off, it's in the body. So you got to start by feeling it, kind of going, all right, what do I sense and feel within? Then you got to start, and we're going to do this. So if you're uncomfortable with any of this, warm up, get ready. You're going to start talking with it. You're going to literally, so you're going to find it. So the finding it is big. The first step is big. Here's what happens. When you do it, you suddenly, as I said earlier, you shift your focus within. You bring the light of awareness within. And that's most of the battle. A big chunk of it is doing this. Because we have so much head trash that we think we're doing it and then we're only doing it in our head, or we distract ourselves, or we find an excuse to do it later. So this is a big battle. Once you do this, you've done a lot of it, because it starts to become automatic. Much like we'll learn in 2 weeks, healing is automatic, energy healing is automatic. So a lot of this starts to happen harmoniously on its own. So you bring the light of awareness with it. Then you start to talk with it. Literally, we're going to talk with the shame. We're going to talk with the fear. We're going to feel it. We're going to bring it up, and we're going to say, yo, what do you need? What are you showing me? And some of you are going to go, what? That's insane. What? That's an energy. It's not going to tell me and talk. Well, you'd be surprised. A lot of schools of thought, psychosynthesis, psychotherapy, voice dialogue, which is rooted in shamanism, if you really look it up. So we're going to start to talk with it. And then when I say bring the light to it, what I really mean is give it what it wants. So when we do this work, we're going to ask, hey, anger, hey, rage, killing all of these people in like a very dark, terrorizing way. Yeah, I've had even that kind of stuff in me. Well, then what do you need? A lot of the times you'll find that it's some basic stuff. I need a hug. I need an embrace. I need to be seen. I need to be felt. I need to be heard. Things that our collective doesn't do very well, that our society and culture doesn't do very well, conditions us against us. So this seems easy, doesn't it? It's like, wow, Haas, you solved all of our problems. Not really. I mean, I've basically put it so you can kind of put it in your notes to understand how you can process the icky stuff gracefully by opening your heart, dropping in. Then you got to surface it. And then you got to actually do the work to process and shift it. You know what's up? That's what's up. That's what's up. There's a jujitsu quote. It's on the wall of a restaurant I go to regularly for my smoothies. And I know the owner. I didn't know he was half Persian. Really cool guy. So jujitsu, if you don't know, was started by a family in Brazil. It's very much, I like it because it's tied to like the Japanese Bushido way, the warrior, the spiritual warrior, vibes that I kind of practice and embody. And so there's this quote, and I want to read it because it's going to prepare you for the work we're about to do. And this is the Gracie family jiu-jitsu philosophy. So this is a family that started a lot of this martial arts of jiu-jitsu, which has a lot of undercurrents of energetics and deep spirituality. Be big enough so you can feel unsatisfied. Be big enough so you can feel unsatisfied. Be noble enough so you can feel anger. Be strong enough so you can feel fear. And be happy enough so you can feel frustrations. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to begin to do that work today. And I invite you to feel big enough so you can feel the unsatisfaction that is in your basement. I invite you to be noble enough and embody that and bring that in as I say these words so you can bring forth that rage that may be deep within you, driving you mad without you knowing it. Be strong enough so you can feel the fears that we're going to step into. And definitely be happy enough to know that this too shall pass and that all of these frustrations that you can bring up to alchemize. As I said, you got to feel it to heal it. There's a lot of simplicity in this, and there's a lot of magic in this. We're not going to get into the vibrational medicine today. We will in a couple of weeks when we do energy healing, because a lot of energy healing ties to this. Because you want to heal your body, usually you got to get rid of the shit that's causing the physical distress and the dis-ease. All right? So there's a lot of magic if you can actually hold space for it, bringing it up lovingly and compassionately, and actually be like, yo, what's going on? I'm going to do the first practice we're going to do. So we already did a warm up. This first real practice on the shadow work side today, now that we're warmed up our hearts, is we're going to bring up and conjure a dense emotion, something that we've been hiding from ourselves, a weakness, something that's icky, something we would prefer not to hear, feel, think about. If you have trauma is shadow work. If you've been abused, raped, I would invite you to bring that forward if it feels resonant for you. This is a safe container. You don't have to put it in a chat. I can hold that space for you. That's basically, in essence, what I do for clients one-on-one. It's to help them heal very advanced traumas very quickly and efficiently. Doesn't mean quickly as in quick as fast. as quick as you can, as sustainably as you can do it. All right. So I'm going to get into the chat in a second. That's the first. And then we're going to take a break. I'm going to give you an intentional pause. And then we're going to jump right back in and do part 2. We're going to then face a fear. And I would prefer that you face a fear that's been nagging you in dreams, nightmares like mine. Like, oh shit, they're going to crucify me like they did in Egypt if I launch this thing, which is why it's the last couple of months I've been battling these fear. Let's say embracing. See, I catch myself. Embracing, lovingly sitting with, alchemizing. So I wasn't going to do the fear one, and it dropped in because I've been doing this work for myself more and more. I have done it with clients in terms of really advanced soul trauma work. So we're also going to do that. So that's what we're going to get into right now. We're going to get into feeling a really heavy energy and processing it gracefully. And then we're going to get into facing a fear. I mean, this is important work. I would imagine some of you already are like, oh, shoot, I got to do this. And if your proverbial butt cheek is tightening and you're like, oh, God, you're not alone. It's all good. Safe space. That's why I said that intentionally. All right, let me see what's going on. So please stop typing. Take a moment. Go within. Get cozy. Get comfy. Get situated. Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you into already wrapping your head around one energy, one thing that's been nagging you, gnawing at you, following you around. I would prefer it be shame, disgust, angst. Don't do a fear right now. The next one we'll do fear. So closing your eyes before I guide you, maybe consciously setting your intention. What is the one energy that I want to deal with today? What's the dense emotion, the dense energy, the discordant vibration I want to deal with today? Bring that up. Please don't put it in the chat. This is going to start your going within. We're going to start the process with you now. And I've been doing this for about 10 years. Even before I started teaching, I developed these technologies. I was helping people left and right. So it's very important you set your intention by consciously going, this is the thing I want to work with that Haas is going to guide me through. Lately, I've been working with wrath. Mine has been wrath because I am a healer, heal thyself. And even if I've done a ton of this work, I still have some, let's say, remnants. So to give you an example, wrath, shame, angst, rage, disgust, etc. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, Mother, Father, God, to the Alpha and the Omega, to the absolute creator of all beings, and also the earthly plane below us. Ladies and gentlemen, please close your eyes, bring your hands to your heart and stomach, opening, centering, and arriving with every breath through your nostrils, breathing in through your nostrils, letting your diaphragm expand out, and then exhale, letting it contract towards the spine, and using that diaphragm, continuing to breathe through the nostrils and on stomach and heart. Every breath opening to the here and now, centering and arriving, preparing yourself to really go within and start embracing and holding the energy that you're going to call forth. Feel into your heart, and you haven't already. Open your heart with every breath. Feel it like a flower blossoming, or a valve or a window opening in your chest, or an energy ball glowing and growing with every inhale. Feel your heart open and attune. I open and attune my heart with every inhale and exhale. Dropping down deeper and deeper into your body. Being with what is. And in a moment, bring forth that one energy, that one trait you don't want to admit, the one energy, weakness, darkness, vice, this thing you want to face finally, this energy you've been avoiding, suppressing. Or maybe it's coming up on its own. For some of you, if you're more advanced or ready or ripe, it may be something you didn't even expect. So allow and say out loud, I call forth the energy that wants me to work with it. Say that out loud, especially you introverts. I call forth the energy that wants me to work with it today. Bringing it forth with every inhale and exhale. I call you forth. I call you forth, emotion, into my conscious awareness. I call you forth into my conscious awareness. For some of you, if you're a beginner, you may only notice sensations. For some of you, may literally feel the energy. It may start already communicating with you or transmitting energy or words. Wherever you're at, continue to allow, open heart, calling forth lovingly, consciously, intentionally. It's okay. Come forth, energy that's trapped within me, emotion, density that's ready to be seen by the light of my awareness. Breathing in and out, and allow this energy to rise into the field of your consciousness. Whatever is happening, it's happening. There's no right or wrong. Allowing this energy, this emotion, this density to come forth, truly connecting with it, maybe even visualizing it as an energy in front of you. Maybe you're noticing it's taking on a certain shape, form, or color, or hue, or maybe it's a sensation in the body, connecting with it more and more. It's a conscious connection between your awareness connecting to this energy. Inhale and exhale. Create space for it. Create loving space for it. Be curious. Say hi to it. Even if you're like, what? It's okay. Say, hey, welcome energy. Make it feel comfortable because you've been trapping this for a while. Call this essence, this emotion forward more and more and breathe into it. Allow it to arise, truly connecting with it more and more. Now give it a voice. Give the shame, the grief, the angst, whatever it is, give it a voice. Literally, let it speak to you. Let it communicate with you. You'd be surprised at how much easier it is if you simply let your mind go, allow it to happen more and more, surrendering and trusting the process, connecting with this energy, saying to it, I give you my voice. I let you speak to me and through me. And allowing whatever is happening in your field of consciousness, connecting with this energy, giving it a voice, letting this emotion connect with you and communicate with you. What do you want to share with me? What are you ready to say to me? Some of you will hear words, maybe you'll see colors, maybe images, or simply sensations. Some of you will be difficult. You may not notice anything, and that's okay too. Continue to follow my lead. You're doing great. Continue to do your best. Give it a voice. Connect with it. Breathe into it. Allow. There's no expectation. Don't push it. Don't rush it. Don't insist. That's the very energy you've been keeping it trapped with. Don't bully it. Say, hey, it's okay. It's safe. Rubbing your chest maybe. It's safe. This is me. It's okay to feel and experience this fully. Giving this energy a voice. What does it want to share with you now? What does it need or want from you now? Noticing how you're feeling. Noticing any sensations you may be harboring or holding in your body around this. As you concentrate on the energy, as you communicate with this energy and this emotion, noticing how your body is feeling as well. What do you need right now? I'm listening. I'm here for you. Like a guest, meet this guest and tell it, what do you need from me? Communicating with it deeper and deeper. Maybe it's only tears. Maybe it's visceral energy or visceral body things happening. Whatever is happening, continue to breathe and allow it. Knowing this is safe, this is me. I'm guided, guarded, and protected. What do you have to share with me? What do you need, emotion? Noticing any constricting, any tightening, any sensations in the body around this. As you go deeper and deeper, connecting with this emotion, this density, this energy. Now, continue to dialogue with it. Continue to communicate and connect with it. By doing this, you're alchemizing. You're allowing the energy to be freed up and pass through and dissipate. You're neutralizing the charge. You're bringing into wholeness, the fullness of your being. Knowing more and more, that's why you're doing this. What does it want to share with you? What does it want or need from you? Noticing how you feel as you're continuing to dialogue with it. And now maybe notice, how has this energy been in the way or blocked you from giving yourself self-love or self-care? You'd be surprised at what this energy will show you if you ask it. How have you been in the way of me raising my vibration? How have you been blocking the very success that I've been seeking? Connecting and communicating with it lovingly, breathing in, saying to this energy, I see you. It's okay. I'm sorry it took so long. We're doing it now. Allowing the energies to flow, the emotions to flow, the body to open and relax and ease up the constrictions that were stored around these topics. How is this energy blocking you from the very high vibrations you wanted? Forgive it now. Noticing also how it's been serving you. Ask it, how have you been a gift? How have you been a coping mechanism that you no longer need? Dialing into how it served you in your life until now. Breathing in and out, letting it pass through with every breath. Saying out loud, I accept everything in this time and space as it is. I accept everything in this time and space as it is. Breathing and wrapping your breath and heart and energetic field around all of this. It's okay. Invite it more into your conscious field. Embrace it more. You don't have to put it in the basement anymore. Give it love. Give it love. I accept everything at this time, at this space, as it is. Giving yourself compassion now for doing this work. Be proud of yourself. Say, I'm so proud of me. I'm so proud of myself for digging deep, for giving myself this love and creating this space to do this sacred work. Inhale and exhale and say to the energy, if there's more, I will come back and continue this work with you soon. Connecting with it one last time, noticing how you feel now, if there's any shifts in your mind, heart, and body. As you inhale and exhale, come back to the room. Come back to the room. Grounding in the here and now, breathing in and out. Give yourself a moment to breathe. Give yourself a moment to ground and anchor. Before you get into the chat, we're going to do another practice. It'd be good to stay in this state. So take a moment to pause. Notice how you're feeling. Don't put anything in the chat for now. Notice consciously, intentionally. How am I feeling? What am I noticing? What shifts, if any? Take a moment. It'll be time for questions. Do the second part, and then we'll debrief. Exhale, maybe shake it out, closing your eyes again. Drawing in divine light from above, below, and within. Bring your hands to your heart and stomach again. Bring your hands to your heart and stomach again. Now we're going to turn our focus to face a fear. Take a moment to set your intention. What is a fear? Maybe it's literally a nightmare you've been having since you're a kid, or maybe it's something you need to do and you're afraid of, or it's fear of facing something, or you're at a milestone like me and you need to launch your curriculum and you've been facing this things that may be affecting, holding you back. Whatever that looks like, take a moment to set your intention. What fear would I like to connect with and bring forth? What fear would I like to connect with and bring forth? Closing your eyes, hands on heart and stomach, rubbing your torso, opening your heart, attuning your heart with every breath. Like a tuning fork, feeling that blossoming of the heart center like a flower, and like a tuning fork, tuning to the higher dimensional love of the divine heart above us. Grounding and anchoring, setting our intention for the fear you intend to face. Going within, this is safe, it's safe. I'm protected, guided, and guarded. It's safe to do this work. It's safe to be here now fully. It's safe to feel this fully. bringing forth this fear now. Conjure this fear, beginning to really drop in and bring forward into your conscious awareness this fear. What does it look like, this experience you're afraid of? What does it look like, can seem like, this worst case scenario that your mind has been trapping and holding within you? This fear, conjure it and bring it forth. I choose to bring this fear forward into my conscious awareness. I choose to bring it forth to alchemize it now. I choose to drop in and allow myself to unpack this fear. As you breathe, allow yourself to experience this fear easefully and gently. What is this worst case scenario? Knowing you're protected, allowing yourself to confront lovingly this fear and come face to face with this proverbial nightmare, this worst case scenario. Feel it, sense it. What does it look like, sound like? All of the above. Invoke and viscerally drop into the extent it feels inspired and safe for you. Facing this fear, saying out loud, this too shall pass, for nothing is permanent. Many spiritual teachings talk about that fear is oftentimes an illusion that we've given so much power to by not looking at it, by not facing it as we are now. So seeing into the eye of this fear, facing it more and more closely, breathing in and out, getting closer and closer, allowing yourself to confront this, knowing that the more you face it, the more you bring awareness to it, the more you alchemize it. Seeing that this too shall pass. Nothing is permanent. What is this fear? Allowing yourself more lovingly to embrace this possibility. What were you afraid of all this time as it had a grip and power over you in the hidden realms of your psyche? Know that with every breath, the more you bring conscious awareness to it, you're loosening its grip over you. More and more, bring that light of divine awareness to it. More and more curiosity, more and more friendship. You don't have to resist it, for it will persist. Don't polarize the charge. Embrace it lovingly and neutralize it. Harmonize it back to no-thingness, for that all this is. It's been fears that you've built up from no-thing. More and more embracing, allowing yourself to the extent you can, transcending it by accepting it, making peace with it. You may feel physically demanding. You may feel a lot of palpitations, sensations, tightness. Breathe into all of those body sensations, creating space, literal physical space, and saying, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Inhale and exhale. Now follow along with me and say these words as you embrace this fear and begin to alchemize it deeper. Let my words be your words. We transmutate and clear this fear and its underlying trauma. We transmutate and clear this fear and its underlying trauma, so that we may be fully more present here now in all our power. So that we may be fully more present here now in all our power. Allowing these words to do what they say they will do, allowing every breath to allow this energy to dissipate and transmutate, allowing it to clear with every inhale and exhale, the fear and the trauma underlying it. Feeling safer to be more present, more fully here now, allowing yourself to feel more alive, more of your power. Maybe this fear was blocking you from doing something or embracing something. Allow that energy to come forth. The magic of holding space for it lovingly. Inhale and exhale. And if there's more work to be done, say, I will come back and continue to work with you, fear. Breathe in and out. Maybe give the fear a hug, a loving embrace, thanking it for existing so you could do this work, provide you this opportunity for transformation and growth and mastery. Giving thanks for all of this, breathing in and out, and opening your eyes, coming back to the room. We transmutate and clear this fear and its underlying trauma so that we may be more fully here now in all our power. There's a lot of magic in holding the space, and for various reasons in modern society, we don't do these practices normally. So you can see already so much has happened. Taking the normal, most of what I already did with you all is, it's out there in bits and pieces, maybe not the way I've wove it together. Now what we're going to get into is deeper in the pool. Stick around, even if you're a beginner, because this is also going to help you, especially if you're here for the first time. You're meant to also experience this. So let's get into this concept where it intersects with a very nutty concept of psychic defense, non-real things, let's call them artificial programs, inorganic viruses. For a lack of a better description, that's what people mean when they talk about entities and dense energy or negative energy or unnatural energy. So I want to talk to you about something, and I want to warm you up, and then we're going to do this really powerful journey together to do this, what I'm about to teach you. So if God created us in God's image, we would be whole and complete, wouldn't we? Our whole blueprint, our biofield, if you're new to all of that, we have a biofield. We have literally a light body that matches our mental, heart, and physical body. Those are the four systems that make us up and make us human. So we have a mind, heart, body, and energy body. And the energy body is really the soul program. So if we're whole and complete, where did the shadow come from? And why would I want to embrace the shadow if it's not natural and it's not organic? And let's go one step further. What if the shadow is a subversive program? What if the shadow is a hack? What if the shadow is an unnatural thing that we've absorbed as a collective, and we're like, nobody's questioning where this came from? And let's go one step further. Maybe you've heard of the word portal, which is science is now proving does a portal work? Black holes, vortices, stargates. Science is catching up with this stuff, yeah? And so what if it's a portal? What if it's a back door? What if it's a hack to our organic nature that's kind of like a spell that we've drunken up and don't know any better, and it's kind of like somebody has to come along and go, hey, wait a second, what if you don't need that? So the classic shadow work, here's what you'll hear if you go through shadow work, especially in the energetic school or shamanic: befriend the shadow, hug your shadow, become one with your shadow. Well, so again, if we're whole and complete and everything that was created was organic, where did this inorganic thing again? So I'm going to share with you that I'm sharing with you that these are holes in our natural way of being. These are inorganic things that we've taken on. Now, you didn't have to come to all my other lives that we've done recently where we've covered some very advanced stuff around this. So I'm going to go through what that looks like, explain it a little bit more, and then we're going to clear it while meeting our shadow, which is another classic thing to do. Only when we meet our shadow, we're not going to keep it around. We're going to politely ask it to clear up, close any holes, portals, hacks, anything that shouldn't be there. And kind of like what you would do with a computer, we're going to reboot our biofield back to this organic nature it needs to be, so there aren't any subversive programs. So let me tell you what some of you don't even know you have, that haven't even considered that this may be what it's coming from. And this happens with clients. This happens in many case studies. This is stuff that I've verified and I've done not only on myself, but countless people. Okay, so here's the buckets of how these things influence us and take us into this state where we have a hole, aka we have a shadow, we have a hack, we have a fragment, we have a piece we've hidden or broken off from ourselves. Various ways people describe it. Number one, I already talked about this in terms of thought forms. Fear is a thought form. There's this concept, it's called an egregor. An egregor is demons don't exist. An egregor is after a while of worshiping a thing. If I'm in a cult and Satan, you say this dark stuff, it eventually, even if it's not a real thing, it takes on life. Now imagine how many of these egregors or thought forms, deities, false idols that we have in the collective. How many are running around, running amok, and these things, number one, bucket, these things start to warp or distort our natural field. They start to create these hacks or these subversive ways that we start to give away energy. Number two, many of you didn't know your grandparent was in a secret society. So this is the concept of how we inherit. So one way is we are bound to these beings that we didn't even know. In another life, I was in this cult. Another way is you weren't in it. Somebody you inherited it from in your biology. It's called legacy in secret society lingo. So somehow I work with people and somehow out of the blue they go, oh, I didn't know my grandma was a witch. Now that you say that. So another way that these things, we take them on, they're part of the shadow, they impact our natural way of being, and they become trapped energies and mess with us. And lastly, along the lines of an egregor or being a legacy, some of us have done what's known as desecration, inversion. We've killed, maimed, tortured. You've done some really, so if you do 1 in 3, if you worship false deities that are inorganic, unnatural, and guess this stuff follows you around. This, you incarnate, and then suddenly you don't even have to believe in multidimensionality. You could be like, wait a second, why do I feel haunted? Why do I feel cursed? Where did I get this stuff from? All right. So Carl Jung actually went one step further. He said there's this concept called umbra mundi, U-M-B-R-A, mundi, M-U-N-D-I. There is a collective shadow, and there's collective shadow work to be done. So now I'm zooming you all out a little bit. Okay. Let me pause and show you what I'm showing you here. Putting all these pieces together. If the shadow is not natural, if there's unnatural ways we inherit energies that aren't ours, that influence us, and one step further now with Jung's umbra mundi, if we're all interconnected and quantum physics now has proven that we're all entangled, doesn't that mean that if there's shit on the other side of the planet, it's going to impact me too? So you can start to see the multidimensional shadow work required when you look at it through an energetic lens. This then results in the following. What is Haas telling you? Therefore, you have what we would call mangled. I'm going to call it mangled, as in mangled. You know, if you take something and you like run over it, what happens? It's like, ugh, or warped. So our biofields suddenly don't operate the way they're supposed to. And the one way that's the most common way is intense trauma. Intense trauma actually creates a dark hole, a black hole, a dark portal, an implosion, energetically speaking. So if you look at the metaphysics, you took the energy, you look at the quantum mechanics, you look at the multidimensionality, you sprinkle in some shamanism, sprinkle in some psychosynthesis, and you start to go, okay, so there's traumas and stuff I've taken on that are mine from this life. That's the exercises we started to take. Shame, fear, and there may be stuff that you've taken on that is collective stuff and or multidimensional stuff that you've inherited or you took on from other lives that you didn't even know. So what it's done is it's affecting your blueprint, and that's where the shadow comes in. It's an open hole. It's an unnatural way of being, and I'm going to tell you, we're not going to hug it. We're going to make love to it. We're not going to keep it around. We're going to go, hey, buddy, you've served me well, and then we're going to close these portals. So I started to teach this 2.5, 3 years ago. We had a teacher in the room, Birgit Pendel-Stolzer. I used her as a beta test. I asked her afterwards because I had the luxury of then being able to talk to her, and she said, whatever you did, however we did it, and I have that recording on YouTube. It's literally a very advanced. We're not going to do that today. What we're going to do is we're going to take that up a notch, because since then I've improved, let's say refined it and done it in a way where you can benefit. Yes, all of you here now can benefit from clearing this stuff out in a way where you can restore and hook back in and, let's say, reboot your operating system and clear this stuff out. And once and for all, meet this elusive shadow that's running amok, because sometimes they say meet your shadow. Actually, and we will do that. It'll take on a form. Maybe some of you will see it like I've seen it. One time I saw it as the dark magician I was in Egypt. And, I looked like a hood. And, it starts to get very powerful, very multidimensional, very extraordinary. And it does start to stretch your belief, start to stretch your mind. It becomes mind-blowing work. So I oftentimes caution people and say, this is safe. I know what I'm doing. And this will only work. The magic only goes, the divine magic only goes as far as your belief allows. So if you suddenly go, it's not, it will undo the whole, you know what I'm saying? Who's with me so far? So the shadow inherently involves inorganic, unnatural energies. And so some of this we have to clear out energetically in order to return our natural blueprint, our natural settings from these deviated, distorted settings that are imploding us, are sucking, siphoning from us. They're festering. And until we actually connect with them, pay attention to them, integrate fully, and then close the portal. So the word I've been saying a lot of is neutralize. We need to, here's the formula. You ready? So if you were to then boil this down to what do I need to do with my biofield, I would put it in these words for you. It's not about befriending the shadow. It's about neutralizing the charges, clearing out the dissonant energy. So neutralize means to do what we've been doing, embrace it. You bring it in, you no longer charge it. So you neutralize the charges. Yeah, we've been doing a lot of that. Once you do that, you then clear out any of the debris. That's what we're going to start doing. Any of this that I inherited, my dad was this, or my mom was this, or I did it in another life and didn't even remember it, soul trauma stuff. So you start to clear it out, and then you start to bring online. That's some of the work we've already been doing, bringing in the divine energies, bringing online, and then closing. That's the clearing and closing. You start to close these portals, start to close these leaks, these tears, these things that have been subvertively implanted that start to affect us in a very nutty and let's call it surreal way. Yeah, so you got to close these portals, neutralize the charges, really allow all this to come to fruition. Let me know how you're doing. Then we're going to actually go do it. This is a big one. It's going to take us another 20 minutes to actually do this practice. So this is akin to doing a guided journey. If you've ever done journey work with me, that's what we're about to do. So the next time somebody says, hey, go befriend your shadow and carry it around with you, maybe question where they got that from. What if we were to carry it around with us? What if it was a hole in our biofield and all we did is we made friends with it and said, hey, you don't belong here. Go back home and I'm going to be the way God made me, whole, without a hole in me. That's where I'm taking this multidimensional work right now. Make sense? It's like only that to swallow. So if you're new to any of this, you're going to have questions, please do put it in the chat. I'm not going to be surprised if you have questions, and there are no stupid questions. There are only stupid questions if you're stupid enough not to ask them so you can learn more and grow more and evolve more and transcend more and ascend more and embody more and be more you. So it's not a separate part of us. It's not this avatar. That's another way to look at it. It's this avatar. It's this synthetic avatar. It's like this thing we're like constantly carrying with us. Hey, thing that's been implanted into me. Because again, simple question. If God created us in its image, why do we have a tear, a portal, an avatar, a imperfection? Friedrich Nietzsche, a philosopher and metaphysician who ultimately went crazy, kind of predicted his own madness, ironically, wrote once, the great moments in our lives are at the points when we gain the courage to rebaptize our badness as the best in us. One more time. The great moments in our lives are at those points when we gain the courage to rebaptize our badness as the best in us. That's what we're about to do. We're about to, thank you, Tanya. We're about to bring up, resurrect, bring up to our awareness these parts of us now, the proverbial shadow that we're going to conjure and bring forth is all the remaining shit that we really don't even know. We may not even know that we have it. And we oftentimes, without knowing it, subconsciously, unconsciously, this is bad, this part of me is bad. I shouldn't be horny, I shouldn't lust, I shouldn't be wanting money, I shouldn't want power, I shouldn't. So then it takes on this form, and then what do we do with it? We make it bad. So this is the opportunity to rebaptize yourself. That's why the man, the myth, the legend also spent 40 days and 40 nights, right? Yeshua ben Yosef, Jesus Christ, Jesus of Nazareth, the Christ consciousness avatar. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, buckle up. We're going to kind of go into this home stretch, do this practice, then I'll bring you back some self-care notes, some final parting tools where you can go to do some follow-up work. And if you have any questions, then you can ask them there. We'll wrap up with another parting quote. That's what you have to look forward to. We'll spend another 30, 40 minutes together. Still pretty short. We're going to be wrapping up around 2 hours and 40 minutes. So thank you for those that are staying up late or waking up early. It's a beautiful opportunity, folks. Beautiful opportunity. And I'm grateful for you all being here. Thank you for your trust in my guidance, especially the new people that were guided here for the first time. Thank you all for being here, especially if you're in a fragile state, because this work will prepare you for what's to come in the world. All right. So let's close our eyes. Let's drop in. Bring our hands to our heart and stomach, opening, centering, and arriving to the inner landscape. Our heart open and attuned. Feeling our breath coming in through the hand on the stomach and coming up Inhale up to the hand on the heart. And exhale, feel that energy pulse back down, creating a pulse or a cycle with our breath. The hand on the heart and hand on the stomach. So inhale through the stomach up. And as you exhale, feel that energy with your breath go back down to the hand on your stomach. Allowing this breath cycle to open you, center you, and allow you to arrive into this deeper state of embodied awareness. Inhale, exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. Allowing yourself to drop into this inner awareness, to this inner state of being. Inhale and exhale slowly. Inhale and exhale. With every inhale and exhale, dropping in more and more. Feeling yourself deepening in awareness, deepening in presence. Inhale up. Exhale, feel that flow drop back down. In a moment, I want you to see yourself standing at the top of a staircase that's descending downwards, all the way downwards, down into a deep, dark basement. See and feel yourself standing at the top of the staircase. With every inhale and exhale, take a step onto the staircase and start to descend deeper into this basement. Deeper into the psyche and energies of your field of consciousness, deeper into the underworld. With each step downwards, feel, sense, and visualize yourself deepening into your consciousness field. Descending down this staircase more and more as it gets darker and darker as we dive deeper and deeper into your consciousness. Noticing that out of your heart, there's a consistent divine light, a glow, lighting the way. So even if we're going deep into the darkness, you have that inner light guiding and emanating from your heart. Seeing this light lighting up the darkness as you go deeper and deeper. This divine protection is always with you as you go deeper and deeper into this darkness, deeper and deeper into your psyche. With every breath, deeper and deeper, feeling yourself going deeper into this basement, arriving at the bottom of the stairs. Seeing yourself now in the deep underworld of your psyche, the deep darkness of the unknown unknowns within your field of consciousness. Take a moment to acclimate here and breathe, feeling safe, rubbing your chest as you continue to breathe. Inhale up, exhale, allowing the energies to drop down. Seeing yourself standing in this underworld, in this basement, knowing you're guided, guarded, and protected, that light of your heart shining brightly, knowing this is safe, knowing you're protected. And in a moment, you're going to ask for your shadow to appear before you. The energies of the totality of your shadow energies. Have it take one form and say out loud, I ask for my shadow to appear before me. The energies of the totality of my shadow energies taking form in front of me. All the energies that I've suppressed, fragmented, all the inorganic energies appearing as this one thing as you breathe in and out. For some of you, you may not see or sense much, and that's okay. For some of you, it may appear as an energy or a blackness. Some of you may actually see a being. Various things are happening for each of you, and that's okay. Continue to follow my guidance and continue to do your best. Saying out loud, I ask for my shadow to appear in front of me. Seeing more and more of this energy taking form as one being. Seeing it materializing, maybe as a dark cloud, maybe a being. Saying out loud, I am ready. Feel your readiness. I choose to confront this and alchemize this. setting your intention to do this in the highest good for you and all concerned. Begin and feel and sense and experience your shadow beginning to converse with you. Maybe it needs a gentle nudge like a hello, or I'm sorry this took so long. Ask it to start contacting and communicating with you, whether that be through energies or maybe an actual conversation. Say, I'm sorry it's taken us so long. I'm ready. I choose to meet with you. Let's do this. Whatever is arising, breathe into it. Whatever you're feeling and sensing, breathe into it. This is safe. This is me. I'm ready. I choose to alchemize these energies in the highest good of all concerned. Seeing, feeling, and sensing the communication with your shadow, with the totality of all these energies appearing as one being. What is it saying to you? What is it asking or wanting from you? If it's not saying anything, say, it's okay, it's safe, tell me. Breathing in and out, feeling and sensing whatever is happening. If it's communicating with you, continue to dialogue with it. If it's giving you energies, allow those energies to pass through. Breathing in and out. Bringing energy in with your breath as you breathe. See your heart glowing more. If you need more protection, if you need more juice, breathe it in. Feel and sense your shadow communicating with you. And as you do this, notice, look down at your body and notice any energies that are ready to be alchemized and released, leaving your mind, being cleared out of your heart, being cleared out of your body, an energy body, and being exhaled as black smoke. See yourself continuing this dialogue and communication with your shadow. And as you do, see energies dissipating out of you, being released out of you. Any energy that's ready to be released, I let it go. Using your breath to bring in new energies. Breathing new energies in and exhaling out the black smoke. As you do that, ask your shadow, is there anything here blocking my gifts or suppressing my genius? Continue to breathe and ask it that question as you're continuing to connect with it and communicate with it for the purposes of doing this deep alchemy. Are there any energies here that are blocking my gifts or suppressing my genius, especially if I'm here to be a leader? And as you say that, notice and see if there's any energy coming up in your mind, heart, or body, or maybe there's an actual emotion, or maybe your shadow is saying something in response. Breathing into your heart, inhaling in divine energies, exhaling out any dross, old, dense, unnatural energies as shadow, allowing these blocks and suppressions to come up. As you continue to do this, say out loud, I call above me my higher self. I call above me my higher self. Maybe it's like an angelic being above you. Maybe it's a ball of light. Maybe it's simply an energetic glow. Feel the energy of your higher self supporting you. Feel the energy of the higher self beaming into you, supporting this clearing, supporting what needs to be brought to the surface, to be seen, to be felt, to be sensed, to be experienced, so you could feel it, to release and heal it. really sensing and feeling into and breathing out what needs to be let go of, especially any blocks or suppressions, any inorganic viruses or technologies around using your gifts or your genius. Feel your higher self beaming into you. Are there any portals? Any openings? Maybe you can see them, maybe you don't. Maybe there's simply blackness. Allow your higher self to remove any of these synthetic hacks, any synthetic overlays, any synthetic distortions in your field. You don't have to understand what that means. Simply ask your higher self to close any shadow portals at this time. Let go of any synthetic hacks, any synthetic overlays, any synthetic distortions in your field. See and sense the energy beaming into you, your shadow taking form in front of you, feeling the new energies coming in, feeling the old energies, breathing them out. Exhale the smoke. All these leaks being closed up, all these interferences being released, all these blocks to using your gifts and your genius being cleared more and more with every inhale and exhale. Letting your higher self do its job. See, feel, sense, and intend for each breath for you to clear all of these deviant energies once and for all. With every inhale and exhale, deeper and deeper, clearing out more and more down to the DNA, down to the cells, down to every organ and part of your body, clearing your mind, your nervous system, your mental thoughts, your heart, your emotions, your biochemistry, all of it being cleared out more and more, your higher self beaming into you, allowing your shadow and you to continue this alchemy, this communication, more and more clearing out. Breathe it in, exhale it out. Breathe in the new, exhale the old. And in a moment, see your higher self and ask it now. I ask for you to reinstall my whole and natural divine blueprint. I ask you, higher self, to reinstall my whole and natural divine blueprint. And with every inhale, feel this higher self above you, beaming energy into your mind, going deep into your neurosynapses, deep into your nervous system, beaming deep into your heart, deep into your emotions, beaming deep into your cells and DNA, beaming deep into your energy field, your higher self reinstalling your divine blueprint, all the natural energetics that need to be taking space and taking place. Inhale and exhale these energies. This is safe. I am the divine light. I am the divine light. I am the power in my world. I am the power in my world. Only good comes to me and through me. Only good comes to me and through me. Breathing in these energies. This is safe. This is me. I am safe. Whatever is happening, allow it to process through you. Whatever is coming up, allow it to pass through you. Allow these trapped and blocked energies to flow. Allow this divine blueprint to come online, more harmony in all your systems. Breathing in the divine light, breathing out the dross energies. With every inhale and exhale, breathing in the divine light, breathing out the dross energies. As I say these words now, feel yourself being the words and breathing in more and more divine light. I am divine light. God consumes my darkness, transmutating it all into divine light. Flowing through me now is a living fountain of divine light that can never be tarnished, that can never be interfered with. Feel and sense all of that darkness being consumed that divine light flowing through you more and more. Feel more and more of that darkness being swallowed up, being given up. See it going up through your higher self, up, back up to source. All the heavy energies leaving, going up. All the new divine energies, breathing them in and down. Breathing in and out. Seeing this divine light pouring and streaming into your heart and every part of you with every breath in and out. And ask your shadow what else it needs to complete this alchemy at this time. Before you say goodbye to it, ask it, is there anything else that it needs to be complete at this time? Whatever it asks, give it to it. Maybe it needs forgiveness. Maybe it needs a tender, loving embrace. Maybe it simply wants to say goodbye once and for all. Whatever is happening, whatever it asks for, give it to it. So this alchemy can be complete. And now, lovingly ask your higher self to remove your shadow as is appropriate for your soul's journey at this time. Each of you will receive this as is appropriate for you in your individual journey. Ask your higher self to escort your shadow up to the light, back up to home, back up to God. You don't need to leave, only you can't stay here. Politely ask your higher self to escort it up, saying goodbye to your shadow, knowing you're giving up this hole, this portal, this inadvertent hack into your psyche and energy field, embracing more of your divine blueprint. See the shadow going back up, flying back up with your higher self, and slowly churning around on the next exhale. Turn around and see the staircase that you took down. Only this time it's ascending back up into your consciousness. You see a light all the way at the top. As you take a breath, take a step on to this staircase. Feel and sense yourself going higher and higher, back into your regular consciousness with every step, getting lighter and lighter as you ascend upwards, back into the present moment, back into your body, back into the here and now. Coming off the staircase, feeling yourself present. Before you open your eyes, take a deep breath in and say out loud, I integrate all these new energies into my mind. Breathe them into your mind and your nervous system. I integrate all these energies as I breathe them into my heart. Breathe them into your heart and into your biochemistry. I integrate all these divine energies into my body at a cellular level. Feel every part of you, your DNA, every cell, every carbon part of you absorbing these divine energies. And I integrate these energies into my energy field. Breathing in and out. I integrate optimally and maximally and easefully. I integrate optimally, maximally, and easefully. On the next inhale and exhale, opening your eyes, coming back to the room, saying out loud, I call all parts of me here now. I call all parts of me here now. And I ground in the present. I ground in the present. Allowing yourself to acclimate, taking a moment, breathing in those energies as we give thanks to the source above, the earth below for holding us. We give thanks for allowing these opportunities to do this deep sacred work, to clear out the weeds, to plant more of the divine garden. And as we do that, we close our sacred space. We come back to the live. We come back to one another. With that, a lot of symptoms will arise, and it's not going to be a solution that keeps you good for life. It's a stabilizing you. We can only do so much in an atmosphere like this, right? To really achieve sustainable results, you're going to want to do some of the homework I'm going to recommend, some of the tools I'm going to recommend to make it stick. In addition to the self-care, you're going to want to take it easy, of course. And I'm going to recommend that really to get to the roots, to really achieve sustainable transformations and breakthroughs, you're going to need one-on-one work. So these lives only give you so much. You can only do so much soul searching on your own. At some point, I even had to have a guide me through my shadow work. Okay, especially with shadow work, it's a very it's a tough one. It's that proverbial quote: there are the things we know, there are the things we know we don't know, then the things we don't know, and then there's the things we don't even know, we don't know. That's shadow work. It's like you can't really clear it all out, especially if you have very advanced healing work you need to do, and you'll know who you are. Good. Some of you will feel, some of you will see, some of you will hear. It depends on your pathways. We're going to cover that in a couple weeks. Good. Rebaptize our badness. That was Friedrich Nietzsche's quote, yeah? So rebaptize our badness, the parts of us we've deemed bad. It varies by person. What I would recommend is ultimately develop enough self-awareness and mastery that you understand how you process. For instance, when I have physical releases, 2 days later, I have emotional releases. Not everybody's going to follow that sequence. Garbage in, garbage out, which means garbage out of the mind, the heart, the body, and the energy body. All 4 systems will purge. Generally speaking, along the same lines of trusting your own instinct and your own intuition and your own body intelligence, I would say on the safe side, 2 weeks. You don't want to suddenly jump into somebody's life tomorrow that's doing an activation. It will rattle this. It will undo this. It will interfere with this, okay? You've seen by now that if you're polarized within, you're going to be polarized without. And there's so many people right now in the collective screaming, injustice, injustice, that's wrong, this is wrong. Shadow work helps with that. Because if you're still pissed, then you're conflicted and pissed within. If you're screaming outside, you are screaming, and something within you is definitely screaming for your attention within you. So as Jed said brilliantly, step into neutrality, step into anicca, the Goenka, the founder of Vipassana, anicca, equanimity, this too shall pass, stepping into the true wholeness that you gain from doing this, assembling the pieces and realizing your wholeness, so that you can actually shift the world, folks. It's because yelling and protesting about the bombing of babies, where within me have I snuffed out my own innocence? I wrote that a few months ago, right? When this whole Palestine thing was getting hot and heavy, and then Iran was in the mix, my native country. And I was like, where am I yelling and protesting? I wasn't ever, because I've done a lot of occult inner work and shadow work, yelling and protesting at the bombing of babies. And then I started to write in my journal. I put this in my notes to share with you all. Where within me have I snuffed out my own innocence? Where have I killed the baby within me? Where have I energetically silenced my inner child and the various parts of me into oblivion? Where have I bombed myself to death within me? And by doing that, ladies and gentlemen, we can truly be the vibrational match and be the energy we wish to emit and the change in frequency we wish to see in the world. Only then. Only then. If not, you won't be in alignment, especially if you're here to birth something through. You can't create a project of peace from anger or retribution or vindictiveness, only from harmony, equanimity, and neutrality, with the real energy birth through you without any fingerprints and remnants of the past traumas. So I'll leave you with this, ladies and gentlemen. The Way to Love by Anthony DeMello. Now keep looking at this unpleasant situation or person until you realize that it isn't that they're causing the negative emotions. No, they are just going their way, being themselves, doing their thing, whether right or wrong, good or bad. It is your computer that, thanks to your programming, insists on reacting with negative emotions. You will see this better if you realize that someone with a different programming, when faced with the same situation or the same experience, would react quite calmly, even happily, dare I say. So don't stop till you have grasped this truth. That the only reason why you too are not reacting calmly and happily is your computer is stubbornly insisting that your reality be shaped to conform to that programming. So observe all this from the outside so you can speak and see the marvelous change that comes about within you. And that is the great Anthony DeMello, The Way to Love. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an honor to be here with you. So thank you all for being here. It is with great love, with great passion, and certainly, as you can feel, with great power that I bring this teachings forward to you to inspire you, to empower you, and encourage you. And I understand the responsibility that I'm giving you all, that you can no longer hide and put your head in the sand. Sorry, not sorry. I trust that you're going to move forward understanding where you need to look, what can open up if you look in these hard to reach dark recesses, these unknown unknowns.